And welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from Victoria in Western Canada. I hope all of you are having a great start to your weekend. Students, in this class we are looking at an IELTS reading passage. And in this reading passage, we're going to be reading about the famous American landmark in New York, the Statue of Liberty. These materials, this lesson, is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. They contain all of our materials. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Romelia. Nice to see our members joining in. Everybody, this is a members chat class. We will have a subscribers chat class in about 2 hours for IELTS Writing Task 2. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. To join the premium version of our course, click the big red button just above my head there to join the premium package. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center, and we help thousands of students succeed on their IELTS exams every month. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. Same idea. Click the big red button right there. This academic IELTS passage looks like this. It is actually reading passage 3. We will look at list of headings type questions, members, viewers. I will give you strategies for those. We'll read the passage together. Then we'll look at some true, false, not given questions and strategies. And finally, we'll look at multiple choice. I'll explain to you what you need to do to effectively answer these questions within the 20-minute time limit for the test. Just before we get into these strategies, a little more clerical. For premium students on the websites, I will be sending you your Zoom links for Sundays and Wednesdays class. When you're a premium student on the websites, you get 2 extra Zoom classes, which are small classes where you get lots of interaction via video and audio. So I will be sending those Zoom links to our premium members. Watch out for those a little bit later today. This is the link for those Zoom classes if anybody's curious what those look like. Here is a playlist for the previous premium student live classes. You can use the code READ49 on the websites to get a 10% discount from the premium version, and you can get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help, from your app stores. Instagram and YouTube community has our schedules for every week, IELTS_AE Help and GIELTS Help. You can also access the academic version of our course through YouTube Shopify. There is the link there. If you have any questions about English, if you like to edit videos and you'd like to join our video editing team, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Students, our schedule right now looks like this. So we're doing reading and then task 2 after this class, writing. I posted the question for that as well, for those of you who would like to prepare for that class. And then tomorrow we'll have speaking part 2 for subscribers and speaking part 3 for an all chat class. There is a new video on YouTube which we released a few days ago, which teaches effective reading strategies, and that video is this link right here. So for more reading strategies and videos, check that out. All right, let's get into reading. Reading tips, list of headings. So the strategy for list of headings. a lot of members have been with us now for quite some time, which is fantastic. What's the first step when you get to your reading passage and you notice that, oh, there's a list of headings here? What do I do? How do I start this? What is my first step? Step number 1. What do I do? And list of headings obviously comes before the passage. So here's the passage, and list of headings comes before that. So what do I do? Flong says paraphrase it. Almost. Flong, almost. Your first step, everybody, when you get, yeah, Anahita said, exactly. Very good, Anahita. Anahita says, read the title. Just read the title of the passage before you do anything. Okay, so even though the list of headings, it's the only question that you see before the passage, your very, very, very first step, always, students, is to read the title. In fact, when you get to the reading section of the IELTS, I highly recommend reading the title of all of the passages. So okay, so your first step in the reading section, everybody, is just read the title of all the passages. So in the general IELTS exam, you're going to have 6 titles. Section 1 will have 2 passages. Section 2 will have 2 short passages. And then section 3 will be 1 long passage, just like the academic IELTS passages. The academic IELTS passages will have 3 longer passages, about 1 2/3 page each, roughly. Read the titles first. The way the test of the IELTS is created is passage 1 should be the easiest one, but it's not always true. It also depends on what you're studying. If you're learning about biology in university and passage 2 or passage 3 is a biology topic and you have lots of vocabulary in English about biology, then it's probably a good idea to start with that. Okay, so the IELTS reading, they do this on purpose. You do not have to start with passage 1. You can start with passage 3 if you feel like it. Okay, and you should always start with a passage that seems the most familiar for your background in your English. Okay, maybe some of you have visited the United States. Maybe some of you have seen the Statue of Liberty and you know about it, or you watched a movie about New York and tourism in New York and the Statue of Liberty, right? So always start with a passage that is the most familiar for you. Okay, does that make sense, members? Yes, thumbs up. So hopefully that's clear, right? Now, we have just one choice today. It's this passage here. So we're going to read the title. Now, in this case, because this is a members chat class, everybody, I'm going to give the opportunity to work together on this from start to finish. And we're going to use the chat and we're going to use our website to do this. So first of all, let's all just start by reading the title together. Liberty, Enlightening the World, Symbolisms in the Statue of Liberty. Okay, while you're thinking about that, we'll get going on setting up our student interactions. So students, I'm going to look for some volunteers for reading on the website, and I'll be looking for members, but I'll also look for our regular students, subscribers, and newcomers. To volunteer for reading, follow these steps, please. Create a free or paid account on aehelp.com. You can do this for free. Log into your My Student account. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a moment. Click on the student partner speaking function. It's going to be a blue button. Okay. Make sure that your microphone is enabled in your browser and keep the window open. If in case you have difficulties, just refresh the page. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me show you what I mean. We go to the website, aehelp.com. Again, if you want to be a premium member, click the big red button. Join the premium version. It's worth it. There is a lot of content there. If you want to just give this a try first, use the green button, try demo. It will work. We want students to interact with each other. Go to your My Student account. By the way, your apps will link. In the My Student account, you will see lots of computer-based practice exams, an interactive course. By the way, in your interactive course, students, make sure to go through the reading section. A lot of the strategies on what to do and how to do for different question types are listed in your course. Okay, there are 11 types of questions. We're looking at 3 of them today. Okay, so go through those. All right, and then you will also see this option here, the student partner speaking. Click on this. And then you're going to see your fellow classmates in here. Some of them will be tagged with the premium student badge, so you know they're in here regularly. Some of our members are in here, like Fuang. Now you'll see me in here as well. You're going to see me in here as master. When you find me in the list, simply just click the blue envelope next to my handle and then send me a message like Fuang just has. I'm going to put on my ears here and I'll reach out. I can see that Fuang is in here. Hi Fuang, would you like to start? Are you ready? And we'll reach out to Fuang and we'll get Fuang's help. Romeli, I see that you're volunteering also. That is fantastic. All right.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Fuang. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you, sir?
I'm getting better. I'm on the mend. And I'm feeling better today than yesterday.
To be honest, I'm a little bit worried to be the first volunteer, sir.
That is okay. You get a thumbs up for bravery, Fuang. So it's totally fine. Fuang, for right now, all I'd like you to do is read the title of this passage. You're going to see it on your screen in a couple of seconds. And we'll just talk about the title. Everybody who's listening, think about this title as well. So when you see the title, Fuang, go ahead and read that.
Okay, sir. Liberty enlightening the world. Symbolism in the Statue of Liberty.
Okay, cool. All right, and you see this little picture too, right? With the Statue of Liberty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you notice in the picture? So what are some of the obvious pieces in the picture?
Well, I see the Statue of Liberty and her feet such as freedom symbolism of the U.S. Sir.
Okay, and what is she holding? What's in her hand here that's raised up?
The fire.
Okay, that's called a torch.
Ah, torch. Yes.
Okay, what's on her head?
Uh, the sun.
We can just call it a crown. Keep it simple, Fuang. Read it. Keep it simple. It's a crown, okay?
Yes.
All right, what's in her other hand down low?
The book.
A book, sure. And what is she wearing?
Uh, um, Maybe traditional customs, sir.
It's called a toga.
Toga.
or
Yes.
a gown, right? Kind of like the Romans did. Okay, so when you read this title and you see this picture, what you should be thinking is, okay, these probably all have some kind of meaning, right? Okay, what do you think it means? And students, what do you think it means? Anahita's saying it's a woman, she's got a book. Okay, so I'm not just asking Fuang, I'm asking all of our viewers and our members. What do you think? What do you think these mean? Like, why do you think she has this torch, Fuang?
Uh, well, I think see the symbolism of the women, that women can not only have a chance to learn but also um, have more opportunity in life, sir.
Yeah, to have, sure, have opportunities, freedom, absolutely. Okay, let's go to the list of headings. And when you see the headings, go ahead and read one.
Okay, sir. Breaking the chains of emancipation.
What do you think that means in your own words?
I don't know the word emancipation, sir.
Doesn't matter. What do you think it means?
Hmm. Oh.
See, here's the important part, everybody. Listen up carefully. Listen up carefully. So, breaking the chains of emancipation. Okay, let's say we don't know the word emancipation, but we understand the word breaking the chains, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what do we think about when we think about breaking the chains and thinking about Statue of Liberty?
Um, the freedoms in not longer in the world.
Freedom from. Do you know the word slavery, Fuang? Or
No, sir.
slave? Okay, a slave or slavery is when a human is kept under the pressure of like a master or a lord, and they're made to do work and they have to work and they don't get money and they only get food. That's called slavery. We had
Uh,
lots of slavery in the past. We still have it today a little bit for sure, but we think it's really bad, right? So, do you know what it means now, this word slavery?
uh, I think slavery who's like African people went for the U.S. with no money and mm,
Exactly. Yeah. So that
yeah.
was slavery of those days. Yeah. So freedom from slavery, and slavery was common in many parts of the world, right? In China and other parts of the world as well. Okay, sure. Read number two.
Okay, sir. The American Civil War.
Okay. What do you know about that, Furong? The American Civil War.
Uh, mm, the U.S. is the root of the World War.
Yeah. Do you know when the U.S. had that civil war? That war inside their country?
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, Americans have war with the Russians. Uh,
No. Civil war, everybody, is when you have war inside your country, right?
ah,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So you're in Vietnam, right, Phuong? And
Yes,
in Vietnam, in the 1960s and 70s, the North and South Vietnam had a civil war that was fueled by the Americans and the Russians, but it was a war, it was a civil war, right? Yeah.
yeah.
US had the same. So US had a war between the North and the South in the 1800s. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. World history, very important. See, Phuong, if I know about Vietnam, you have to know a little bit about US. I'm Canadian, right? Okay. So big moments in the last 300 years of humanity are important. Okay, number three, Phuong. Go ahead and read that.
Uh, Stationary. Yes, always moving forward.
Okay, what's another way to say that?
Hmm, I don't know the word stationary, sir.
Okay, Stationary means not moving in the same spot.
Stable.
Yeah, in the same spot, for sure. So stationary means it does not move. In the same spot, but always going forward. Okay? Again, so here's the important tip, everybody. Huang, this is very important. Are you listening? I know it's loud and you've got lots of traffic there, but it's still really important to pay attention to this. Huang, when you're doing a reading passage, everybody, when you're doing a reading passage, pay attention to what you know. Don't pay attention to what you don't know. Okay, Fuang?
Okay, sir.
All right, Fuang, thank you so much for being my first volunteer, and stay in there because maybe I can get you back for reading a passage, okay, or a paragraph.
Okay, sir.
All right, thanks, Fuang.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye, Fuang. All right, that was Phuong, everybody. She's in a loud part of Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. Pay attention to what you know and ignore what you do not. I shouldn't say ignore it, and try to figure out from context what you don't know. Okay, like that first one that I showed you where we talked about breaking the chains, right? Anahita, thank you. Phuong definitely deserves some thumbs up. She's being brave. There will be words that people don't know in the IELTS reading, and that is totally okay. Your goal is to figure out what those might mean based on the context, just like I was encouraging Phuong to do. All right, let's take another volunteer. Romelia, I believe you were next up. Romelia says me. Okay, Romelia, are you ready? We'll get Romelia's help on this, and we will read the passage together and answer all the questions step by step. Romelia, if you're there, if you're still there, let's do this. Hi, Romelia.
Hi.
I haven't heard from you in a while. How have you been?
Oops, not bad, thank you. Just a hectic schedule.
Okay, I got you. All right. Romelia, are you still interested in being a channel moderator?
Yeah, and I'd be happy to manage finally.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, and I'd be happy.
I just made you a moderator, okay?
Wow, thank you so much.
So you should see your icon change there. I know you've been wanting that for a while, and
Yeah, you
YouTube.
can send me all the instruction.
Sure, I will do that. Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'll send you an email. Yeah, YouTube changed the system, so it's a little bit easier now to do this. Okay, Romelia, let's get into the reading a little bit more. Are you ready?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so please read number 4, please, when you see it on the screen. You should see it shortly.
Number.
Roman number 4. I'll underline it.
Oh, the beginning of the statue.
Okay, so what's another way to say that?
The starting point of the monument.
Sure, that's why. Okay, complicated, Romelia. There's a simpler way. When we talk about the beginning, we talk about the building, right? So building or
the building.
it, right? So constructing the statue, right? Where it came
But
from.
it's that point, isn't it?
Yeah, and we tend to do that as humans. We tend to often overcomplicate our ideas.
I wasn't 100% wrong.
No, it wasn't really wrong. It was just complicated, right?
Let me live under this impression that I wasn't 100% wrong.
Okay, the next one, number 5.
The next one, okay, a new monarch.
Mm-hmm. A new. What's a monarch? Romelia. Did I lose you, Romelia? Are you still there? I might have lost her there. It sounded like I lost Romelia. Might have lost your connection there, Romelia.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. All right, Romelia, what's a new monarch? I couldn't hear you there. I think we got a bad connection there for a second.
Okay.
So what does the monarch mean? What's a monarch?
A king, a queen.
Exactly, yeah. It's a king or a queen, right? So in this case, would it be a king or a queen?
I said another conductor, another, yeah, something like
Leader,
that.
right? A leader. But
A
no,
leader,
in
yeah,
this case, let's
could
be
be.
more specific. So Statue of Liberty, male or female?
Okay. A new king,
No, she's a female. She's a female. So it'd be a new queen,
queen.
right? Because Statue of Liberty is a woman. So it would be a new queen, right? Okay. All right. Let's keep going. A light which is never extinguished.
Um, a
Quick.
burning, an endless burning
Repeat after me.
brightness.
Okay. I'm gonna help a little bit here, Romelia. Now, students, listen up. When you're in the IELTS exam and you're doing list of headings, what you want to do, what you want to train yourself to do, is to answer these as quickly as possible. Okay? So, remember what I said, the vocabulary, what she's holding in her hand? What's the word?
My vocabulary is so poor, then.
No, it's okay. Remember what I said when Fuang was on the line? What she's holding in her hand, the Statue of Liberty? It's a torch, right?
Oh, torch.
A torch that burns forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A torch that burns forever.
Okay.
Okay, repeat after me. Constitution as supreme law.
Constitution as supreme law.
National beliefs as the main rule.
National belief as the main rule.
A crown fit for no human.
A crown fit for no human.
A crown not worn by man.
Unsuitable for any human being.
Yeah, exactly. The gold torch of supreme law.
Ooh. The gold torch of supreme law. Okay. What can be this?
The fire stick of the rules. Okay? Just simple. The fire stick of
the
the rules.
authoritarian rule.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just the best that we can do. The fire stick of the rules. Okay?
A symbol of freedom and hope.
A symbol of freedom and hope, representing liberty
for a brighter future.
And a bright future. Sure. Yes, why not? Okay. So we
Hope.
paraphrased it. All right. Romelia, let's jump to the next questions. True, false, not given. What should we do?
Ooh.
Read them, skip
Probably
them.
it's easier to eliminate what is not given. I don't know.
Just skip them. Don't ever worry about true, false, not given before you read. Don't worry about them. Don't read them. Okay? Students, we never read true, false, not given before the passage because it's confusing. We don't know what's true or false or not given. So no point in reading those before the passage. They're confusing. It's bad. Okay, so multiple choice. What do we do, Romelia? It's okay to say I don't know if you don't know. What do we do with multiple choice? Just read
Probably here skimming and scanning will work.
No skimming and scanning. Stop skimming and scanning. Okay, we're not skimming and scanning.
Just look for the specific.
Just read the question. Just read the question. The question is in the passage somewhere, or the information for it. So we just want to read the question to get some ideas. So read 38 for me, please.
Of course. Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read it. Number 38.
What represents the supreme law of the land?
Okay, perfect. Now read 39.
We have to identify it in the text, no?
No, we don't care about the text yet. Just read 39.
What do the broken chains represent?
Okay, and read number 40, please.
Oh, and should I check the options? And
No. Never check the options.
no?
We don't know what's in what. We don't know the answer. There's 4 options. We don't know which one's in the
Okay.
text.
Which symbol is not mentioned in the text?
Okay, so we just read the questions because that's going to help us know what
Yeah.
we should be thinking. We don't read the options because we don't know what's in there, what's not in there. So it's a waste of time, and it's confusing, just like the true, false, not given. Okay, now we go to the text and we read the text. So I'm going to read A, and then I'll get you
Okay.
to read A. Okay, so a beacon for travelers and immigrants. Well, let's start with the title. We should always read the title. Liberty Enlightening the World, Symbolisms in the Statue of Liberty. And this isn't just for Romelia, everybody. We should all be reading together nice and loud if you can, okay? So, a beacon for travelers and immigrants for over 125 years. The Statue of Liberty is an icon, perhaps the icon of American freedom. Dedicated in 1886, the statue was a gift from the French people, representing their mutual desire and appreciation for freedom and liberty. The statue was constructed in pieces before being shipped across the Atlantic Ocean in over 200 crates to Liberty Island in the state of New York. The base of the monument, however, was constructed on site and was financed by donations by American citizens. The statue today appears green because the copper it is constructed out of has oxidized. When it was first established, the statue would have been a brilliant, shiny copper color. There are many symbols embedded in the Statue of Liberty, most of which represent its status as a model of freedom. Okay. Romelia, please read that same paragraph one more time.
Okay. The last paragraph. Oh,
The one we just read.
Okay. Bacon for travelers and immigrants for over 125 years. The Statue of Liberty is an icon, perhaps the icon of American freedom. Dedicated in 1886, the statue is a great gift from the French people, representing their mutual desire and appreciation from freedom and liberty. The statue was constructed in your head. Was constructed in pieces before being shipped across the Atlantic Ocean in over 200 crates by Liberty Island in the state of New York. The base of the monument, however, was constructed on site and was financed by donations by American citizens. The statue today appears green because the copper it is constructed out of has oxidized. When it was first established, the statue would have been a brilliantly shining copper color. There are many symbols embedded in the Statue of Liberty, most of which represent its status as a model of freedom.
Okay, now keep reading what I'm writing.
Oh, the statue itself is a figure of liberty.
No, just a sec.
No. Oh.
No. Just the question.
No. Oh, sorry.
So when we're doing list of headings, everybody, what we do with list of
What
headings,
is this introductory paragraph
about in
about?
short. Okay, so in just a few words. Okay, so what is this introductory paragraph about in a few words?
Descriptive elements related to the statue.
I disagree.
Basically.
I don't think that's a good enough answer. I think you can do better, Romelia. In better words, it's not descriptive elements. What is it about? It talks about who made it, right? The French. It says that the French shipped it to the United States in boats across the Atlantic. It says that the American people gave the money to build the base, the bottom of the statue. So what is it about? You have to be able to answer these questions. And students, again, you don't need to understand all the information. Just some of the key words are enough to answer this. So what is this introductory paragraph about?
Yeah, the
It's about
history of the statue.
Romelia. We talked about this. I even simplified it for you. It's about, you have to visualize, Romelia. You have to visualize. It's about building or constructing it, right? Mostly.
Yeah, I'm a chemist, and I was about the copper, the color, yeah,
Yeah, building and constructing the statue.
distracted by all these features.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you agree? The paragraph is basically telling us about the start of the statue, how they built it and where it came from,
yeah,
right?
of course.
All
Building
right.
and constructing the statue.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So, which of the I'm going to just highlight the original choices. You tell me which original choice is the correct
Okay,
answer, okay?
okay.
So,
Definitely number four. What I started to read basically the beginning of the statue,
definitely
constructing the statue.
Roman numeral 4 is what you're saying, right? Which is the beginnings of the statue. I agree 100%. So here for paragraph A, we put in 4 and we get the correct answer.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Romelia.
but due to your help, otherwise,
I know. Otherwise, you're in trouble if you don't get that right idea. Romelia, what's the most important lesson for you so far in our interaction? Simple thoughts. Simple thoughts, okay? One of the most
okay.
common mistakes that a lot of candidates make on IELTS, and it's not to do with English, a lot of candidates have good English, is they give IELTS too much credit. They think it's like a university test in the second year or something. It's not that. It's not meant to be that challenging, okay? So you have to keep your thoughts relatively simple when you understand what you're reading, okay? So
Okay.
simple thoughts. All right, Romelia, I look forward to having you as a channel moderator, and I'll send you an email, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right.
And I'll do my best to live up to expectation. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll see you again. Bye, Romelia.
Bye bye.
All right, let's give Romelia a thumbs up. That was really good. I believe I can do it here too. Yeah, maybe there. Oh, Romelia was gone. All right. Let me see if I can reach out to Anahita. Anahita, are you ready? Excuse me. Still getting over that nasty cold. There's a lot of thumbs up there in the chat. There's my thumbs up. Boom, boom. 2 thumbs up. All right. Anahita. Hello, Anahita. Are you there? I don't hear you. Now, Anahita, what I'm going to do, because we should be able to make a connection, you're here in Canada, just on the other side of Canada. So what I will do is I will refresh my page and try you again. Okay. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just reboot the chat. So just give me a second. Okay, Anahita, I still don't hear you, but if you just give me a moment, then I will take one more step here. And students, you might need to refresh the chat page. I'll explain it for everybody how to log in again. Okay, oh, there you go, Romelia. Now you're appearing in blue. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to refresh the page. And for those of you just joining in, Anahita, we should be able to make a connection now in just a moment. Again, you know, these are tricky systems. We've got a lot of tools in use here. For those of you who don't know, we're at aehelp.com. Okay, just give me a second, Anahita. We should be good now. Okay, and go to the student partner speaking after you create an account. That's the function that we're using, everybody. Okay. All right. Anahita, let me try you again. Hi, Anahita.
How are you, sir?
I am on the mend, as I was saying to Romelia. Thank you for asking, or I was saying to Fuang. How are you doing?
I'm also doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Okay, good. All right, we'll just jump in and we'll keep reading and answering these questions, okay? So, what I'm going to do, Anahita, is I'm going to read B, and then everybody listen, read with me, and then Anahita, after I finish, you read it, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, here we go. The statue itself is the figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. In ancient Rome, Libertas was widely worshipped, most significantly by emancipated slaves. Not only did this symbolize the literal emancipation of American slaves after the American Civil War of the 1860s, it also symbolized the figurative emancipation of European immigrants who left the oppressive poverty of 19th century European peasant life for a fresh start in the land of hope and opportunity. Okay, go ahead and read that for me, Anita.
The statue itself is the figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. In ancient Rome, Libertas was widely worshipped, most significantly by emancipated slaves. Not only did this symbolize the literal emancipation of American slaves after the American Civil War of the 1860s, it also symbolized the figurative emancipation of European immigrants who left the oppressive poverty of 19th century European peasant life for a fresh start in the land of hope and opportunity.
Okay, so what is this first paragraph about, or first body paragraph?
It's about the history of the
Simple. Keep it simple. What does the word emancipation mean? You should be able to figure it out from
slavery.
context here.
Slavery.
Okay, read this here. Emancipated slaves.
Emancipated slaves. Oh,
What
free
does that mean?
slaves. Free
Freed slaves, exactly. So what
Yeah.
does emancipation mean?
Freedom.
To be set free. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Set free.
Okay. So what is this paragraph about?
It's about emancipation of slaves. Emancipated slaves.
And Libertas, right? We now know who that female figure is. It's the Roman goddess of freedom, right? So freeing slaves and Libertas, right? Okay, so now pick for me the closest match that matches with that concept. Libertas, freeing slaves. Okay.
Okay, I cannot see the first one.
Okay. I'm going to keep going here and then you can.
Okay, breaking the chains of emancipation.
Yeah.
The American Civil. I think it's the first one.
Anahita, jumping to conclusions. Put in the word freedom. So replace the word emancipation with freedom.
Can you scroll down a little?
So
Breaking the chains of emancipation.
Yeah, so breaking the chains of freedom, does that make sense?
No.
No, it doesn't, right? Breaking the chains of slavery, that makes sense, but breaking the chains of emancipation or freedom, that doesn't make sense at all, right? So it can't be that one. So you have to be careful. Students who are watching and everybody else, okay, in the IELTS, it's simple, but you have to be careful. So the IELTS people who make the test, right, they don't want you to just look for fancy words and think that, oh, okay, there's a fancy word there, emancipation, that body paragraph has the word emancipation, must be the correct answer. Every student who just did that, who was skimming and scanning for a key word and picked it, just got that answer wrong, okay? It's the wrong answer, okay? You have to think about, what is this about? It's about setting free or becoming free or getting freedom and the goddess of freedom, right? So keep reading, okay? The American Civil War.
Sir, I think the paraphrase of the first one is also wrong because freedom from slavery
Okay,
Breaking
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
chains of
So
emancipation.
exactly. Yep, so it's wrong.
Paraphrase is also wrong.
Yep, the paraphrase is wrong. You're absolutely right. So we keep going, right? So keep going.
Yes. Okay. The American Civil War, it is not stationary, it always moving forward. No, it is not. The beginning of the statue, no, it is not. A new monarch, no, it is not. A light which never extinguished, no. Constitution as a supreme law, no. The gold torch of supreme law, no. A symbol of freedom and hope, maybe.
Which was the best answer?
10.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, libertas and breaking the chains of slavery or emancipation. Definitely, 10 is the right answer. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So now you have the right answer and you can move on. Okay. All right. C, I'm going to read it. You read it. Okay, here we go. The statue's crown has 7 spikes. These represent the 7 seas and the 7 continents across which liberty would spread. This is the common interpretation of the crown's symbolism. It goes much deeper, however. The 7 spikes can be thought of as the sun's rays, illuminating the world with liberty. Indeed, the original name of the Statue of Liberty is Liberty Enlightening the World. So it is easy to see the symbolism of the sun. The greatest symbol of the crown is in its origin as a headpiece for the rulers of monarchs and nations. Both the United States, under British rule, and France began as monarchies, with the citizens subject to the rule of the king or queen. Both countries overthrew their oppressors and established a new monarch, liberty. Thus, the statue is crowned. No king or queen shall rule over the land except freedom and liberty. Okay, go ahead and read C.
Okay, I cannot see the first sentences
Just give it a
yet.
moment.
The statue's crown has 7 spikes. These represent the 7 seas and 7 continents across which liberty would spread. This is the common interpretation of the crown symbolism. It goes much deeper, however. The 7 spikes can be thought of as the sun's rays illuminating the world with liberty. Indeed, the original name of the Statue of Liberty is Liberty Enlightening the World. So it is easy to see the symbolism of the sun. The greatest symbol of the crown is in its origin as the headpiece for the rulers and monarchs of nations. But the United States under British rule and France began as monarchies uh, with the citizens subject to the rule of the king or queen. Both countries overthrew their oppressors and established new monarch, liberty. Thus the statute is crowned. No king or queen shall rule over the land except freedom and liberty.
Okay, what is this about?
The word that comes repetitively in this paragraph is symbol.
Yeah.
So I think it's about the uh, symbolism of the meaning and
Symbolism of what?
symbolism of the statue.
Not the statue. It focuses on one specific. Maybe somebody in the chat can help. It's the symbolism of one part of the statue, the symbolism of the...
Torch.
No. Anahita. Read the first sentence.
Okay, 1 minute. I cannot see it yet. The statue's crown has 7 spikes.
Okay.
The statue's crown.
Okay, so symbolism of the crown, right?
Yes.
And what does it symbolize according to this? You don't have to understand all of it, just the main idea. Symbolism of the crown.
It has 7 spikes and
it's only fit for what? Fit only for...
of
Do they want to put the crown on the king or the queen?
queen.
Do we want to put it on a queen? Remember, we just read that it's Libertas, the goddess of freedom. She's not a queen. She's a goddess. She symbolizes freedom. So symbolism of the crown fit only for freedom, right?
Yes.
No king or queen, right? That was the whole point. They said no king, no queen, no more kings, no more queens. Right? Did you understand that from the passage?
Now I understood it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't understand these parts, what you should do, everybody at home, is you should read the paragraph again, right? So here it says, the greatest symbol of the crown is in its origin as a headpiece for the rulers and monarchs of nations. Both the United States, under British rule, and France began as monarchies, with the citizens subject to the rule of the king or queen. Both countries overthrew their oppressors and established a new monarch, liberty. Thus the statue is crowned. No king, pay attention to that last sentence, no king or queen shall rule over the land except freedom and liberty, right? So symbolism of the crown fit only for freedom, no kings and queens. That's what you should get from that paragraph. Okay, which one of these choices, I'll show you these ones here, which one of these choices is the correct answer?
Okay. I cannot see the first one. I cannot see the upper one. Okay. The American Civil War. No, it is not. Stationary yet always moving forward. No, it is not. The beginning of the statue. No. A new monarch. Maybe. A light which is never extinguished. No. Constitution as supreme law. No. A crown fit for no human. This one.
Are you sure? There is a new queen. The new queen is liberty, right? So freedom is the new queen.
Yes.
Okay, and has a crown. So
Can I see that?
the answer here, Anahita,
Other
is
one?
5. It's this one. Yeah, this one's a little bit tricky, right? So you can think, okay, maybe it's a crown fit for no human. But it doesn't say that directly, right? So this paragraph doesn't say that the crown isn't for a human. It says that the crown is for freedom. So instead of thinking like what it's not for, you should be thinking what is it for, right? It says it here, and this is a tricky one. You have to be very careful. It says, thus the statue is crowned. No king or queen shall rule over the land except freedom and liberty. So the crown is on Libertas, the goddess of freedom, right? Yeah. So that's the new monarch. So freedom is the new monarch. So this one's tricky, but the IELTS exam in this case does give you this answer, right? So fortunately, this one's the provided answer, so you wouldn't get it wrong in the real test. But it does kind of remind you that you have to be very, very careful and pick the best answer, not just the right answer, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, Anahita, those were some tricky ones. This is a challenging passage, and it's okay. This is how we learn. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thanks for allowing me a chance to read.
Absolutely. Thanks, Anahita.
Have a good day, sir.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, Anahita. All right. Okay, let me just refresh my page here. Or let me just refresh the chat. Okay, everybody. Let's see. Anybody else in the chat right now? I don't see anybody. If somebody wants to join in, you have to rejoin because I just rebooted the chat server, and I'm going to do it again. Let me just do it one more time. And then let's see if we can, yeah, there's V and Fuang. So now you're joining in. Okay, again, I'll just give you the instructions here, everybody. So you can see in the chat, you go to aehelp.com. So to join the chat, to read like Anahita, go to aehelp.com. Join the free or the paid version, up to you. Hi, Lewis. In the meantime, V or Lewis, if you want to volunteer. Fuang, if you want to volunteer again, that's fine too. You can go to your My Student account, click on the Student Partner Speaking. Once you've done that, then it'll open up this page, and then you'll find me in here as Master again. Okay. Master. All big letters. this, and then you should be able to volunteer by clicking on the blue envelope next to my name. All right, let's get Fuang back here. Fuang, sure. Are you ready? Yeah, you can read some of the text. Absolutely. Are you ready? I'm shouting. Okay. Excuse me. Perfect. Okay. So we'll give Fuang another chance here.
Hi again, sir.
Hi again, Fuang. All right. Are you ready to read this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it. So, let's do D. Here we go. I'm going to read D and then you read D. The tablet, the statue
Sorry,
holds.
sir. My internet connection is not stable, so can you,
We'll just do our best. Fong, no problem. We'll do our best. I'm going to read D and then you read D. Here we go. The tablet the statue holds in its left hand is a book of law, demonstrating the rule of law in America. The United States is a nation whose founding principles, outlined in the Constitution and its 27 amendments, represent the supreme law of the land. Every one of the nation's laws, rules, and regulations derives from one or more of these supreme laws. The tablet has an inscription of the date of American independence, July 4th, 1776, symbolizing the moment of its emancipation. Okay, go ahead and read that, Fuang.
okay, sir. The tablet the statue holds in its left hand is a book of law, demonstrating the rules of law in America. The United States is a nation whose founding principles, outlined in the Constitution and its 27 amendments, represent the supreme law of the land. Every one of the nation's laws, rules, and regulations describe one or more of these supreme laws. The tablet has an impression of the date of American independence, July 4, 1776, symbolizing the monument of its emancipation.
Okay, what is body paragraph 3 about in a simple sentence or in a simple way?
The United States law,
Okay, and what symbolizes the law?
the supreme law.
The supreme law of the United States, of the U.S., is symbolized by.
The movement of its emancipation.
Okay, but remember, we're reading about the Statue of Liberty, right? Always remember, students, the topic, symbolisms and the Statue of Liberty. So the Statue of Liberty, the supreme law of the United States, is symbolized by the book. Yes, by the book that the statue is holding. Simple thoughts, Fong. Simple thoughts, okay? The supreme law of the U.S. is symbolized by the book. Okay, which one of these matches closest to that?
Just a second, sir. Clear my screen.
We'll see it in a second. We've got about 5 seconds between us. It's fine. You should see it. Yeah. The answer's there. You can just tell me which one. Closest match.
Can you scroll the ring, sir?
Yep, you should see it. It's there. It's one of those that you're seeing. Let's see if somebody in the chat gets it.
Maybe 8.
The gold torch of supreme law? It's not the torch.
Um, 7.
Which one is 7?
A draw is not won by me.
How about Constitution as supreme law? Number 6 is the correct answer for all.
Yes.
Okay, it's Constitution as supreme law. That's the book. The book is the Constitution. Constitution as supreme law. This passage is an interesting one. I think a lot of a lot of the members today, and a lot of the candidates tend to overcomplicate these types of passages. You just have to keep it a bit simpler. Phuong, let's just keep going forward and think simple. Okay, I'm going to read paragraph E. Think simple. Okay, here we go. The torch is perhaps the most well-known symbol of the statue. It represents the light of freedom, shining the path to liberty. Again, this is obvious in the original name of the statue, Liberty Enlightening the World. Today, the torch is always illuminated, making sure we never lose sight of that path. In order to do this, the torch's flame is covered in gold to reflect the sun's light in daytime, while it is lit by 16 floodlights at night. It is never extinguished, symbolizing that the path to liberty will always be visible. Okay, go ahead and read that.
Okay, sir. The torch is perhaps the most well-known symbol of the statue. It represents the light of freedom, showing us the path to liberty. Again, this is obvious in the original name of the statue, Liberty Enlightening the World. Today, the torch is always illuminated, making sure we never lose sight of that path. In order to do this, the torch flame is covered in gold to reflect the sunlight in the daytime, while it is lit by 16 floodlights at night. It's never extinguished, symbolizing that the path to liberty will always be visible.
Okay, so what is this paragraph about?
The importance of the torch, the freedom lights of the U.S.
Simpler, Phuong, simpler. The torch of freedom.
Okay, sir.
The torch of freedom will always burn, right? Does that make sense? The torch of freedom will always burn. That's the simple way to say it. So simple, everybody. Think simple. The torch of freedom will always burn, right? So this fire of freedom will always burn. Okay, very visual too. All right, Phuong, which one matches? The torch of freedom will always burn.
Number 6.
Yes,
A
that's
torch
correct.
that burns forever, sir.
Yes, that's correct. And Anahita made note of this, that the previous one was actually number 7. I just looked at it wrong. But yes, it's number 6. Absolutely. Okay, so 7 and 6. Okay, Phuong, thank you so much for volunteering. And just hang in there. We'll solve the rest of this passage, okay?
Okay, sir. Have a good day, sir.
You too. Bye, Phuong. All right, everybody. Yes, so simple is not easy, but it's the right way to do it. Orman would love to volunteer here. Okay, Orman, are you ready? I'm looking for more volunteers. We've still got the true, false, not given, and we've got a couple paragraphs left. Okay, I think that's James, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Orman, if you're there, let me know, and I'll get you in there, okay? And we'll get James in here, too. Good job, Phuong. Okay, Orman, if you're there, yep. Orman, I can't hear you, but that doesn't mean that we can't make a connection. Just give me a moment. I'm going to try James here. Let's see if I can make a connection with James. If I can't, then I'll just refresh my page here. So are you ready, James? And then I'll come back to you, Orman. So don't go anywhere. Just be patient. for a moment, please. If I can't connect with James, I'll refresh the page and then come back to you, Orman. Okay, we'll see. Sometimes when there's a lot of us hitting the server, it's tricky. Hi, James.
Hi, Mr. Adrian. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing quite fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Okay, so I was able to make a connection with you, so I think maybe this time it's on Orman's side. Okay, James, let's do this. So let's get these last couple paragraphs done for list of headings. Same as until now, I will read the paragraph and then just read afterwards, and we'll talk about it. We'll figure out the answer. We'll move on, okay?
Okay.
All right. There are two symbols which are lesser known to the public, but no less important. These are the feet of the statue and what lies at the feet of the statue. Though it is natural to assume that the statue is merely standing upon its pedestal, the statue is in fact walking, with one foot raised off the ground. The statue is marching towards freedom, spreading the light of liberty across the seas and continents. This also symbolizes that liberty must not be complacent. We must always be vigilant. We must always move forward. The final major symbol is that of the broken chains which lie at the statue's feet. These represent the chains of enslavement which liberty frees us from. This may be literal enslavement, but also the figurative enslavement by kings and queens. Okay, go ahead. James, read that paragraph for us.
Okay, can you with me for 5 seconds? Okay,
Mhm.
there are two symbols which are lesser known to the public, but no less important. These are the feet of the statue and what lies at the feet of the statue. Though it is natural to assume that the statue is merely standing upon its pedestal, the statue is in fact walking. With one foot rise of the ground, the statue is marching towards freedom, spreading the light of the liberty across the seas and the continents. This also symbolizes that liberty must not be complacent. We must always be vigilant. We must always move forward. The final major symbol is that of the broken chains, which lie at the statue's feet. These represent the chains of the enslavement which liberty freed us from. This may be literal enslavement, but also the figurative enslavement by kings and queens.
Okay. So what is this final body paragraph about? What is it saying? To the best of your ability, what is it saying, James?
Let me think.
Something about freedom, right?
Yeah, something about liberty.
Liberty should always be
Uh,
moving.
this- I think the period of freedom.
Okay, think about the statue, right? So it's talking about symbolisms in the statue. What part of the statue is this body paragraph talking about?
Is the statue's feet.
It's the statue's feet. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, so let's start with that. Because the statue is liberty. I mean, it's called the Statue of Liberty, right? So the statue's feet. And what is the statue's feet doing?
These represent the chance of enslavement which liberty frees.
Simple, 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 simple. Everybody's thinking way too complicated. What are the statue's feet doing?
I think
Thank you.
it also represents the freedom.
Yes, but again, we're thinking too complicated. Anahita in the chat is thinking simple. So she says the statue's feet are
The walking.
walking. Thank you. Which basically means freedom is walking, right?
Okay.
We can say freedom is moving, right? So the statue's feet are walking. Freedom is moving. Okay, now we can figure it out. So James, just like with Fuang and just like with Romelia, just like with Anahita, simple. One of the reasons a lot of students get these questions wrong in the reading section is they're overcomplicating. They're thinking way too complicated. So one of these has this simple thought of the statue is walking, freedom is always moving. Which one is the best answer here? Fong's having a good chuckle by this one, I can see.
I think it's number one, breaking the chains of emancipation.
No, too complicated.
Otherwise, I think it is probably 10, the last option.
No. Let's see, can any of your classmates help? I don't see any of the members giving the answers. They should be. Freedom is, yes, Anahita and Fong answered correctly in the chat. So if you see the chat, James, just look at what Anahita's saying and Fong is saying. Fong's kind of sure, but Fong, you should be sure because it's the right answer.
Okay, so it's option 3.
Yes, can you read option 3 for us?
Stationary, yet always moving forward.
Exactly. It's walking, right? So the statue's not actually walking, but it's walking. It's in the same spot. It's freedom, but it's always pushing forward. We're always pushing for freedom. Freedom doesn't actually walk, right? It's always there, but we're always pushing for freedom. So it's stationary, yet always moving forward, right? It's walking, the statue.
Okay, so I can see going forward means walking, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of this concept of the statue is walking. Freedom is always something that we fight for, even though it's always there in that one spot. Okay? So Anahita says it's on the pedestal. It's not actually moving, but it's walking. Okay, last paragraph. Here we go. The Statue of Liberty contains many symbols and representations. The torch representing the light of freedom. The castaway shackles demonstrating the freedom of liberty. The feet of the statue never standing still, always moving forward. The tablet representing the rule of supreme law. Perhaps most important, however, is the crown worn by the statue. Never again shall a human being in the United States wear a crown. The only one deserved of that honor is one far greater than any one human being, Lady Liberty. Okay, go ahead and read that one for me.
Okay, so the Statue of Liberty contains many symbols and representations. The torch representing the light of freedom, the castaway shackles demonstrating the freedom of liberty, the feet of the statue never standing still, always moving forward, the tablet representing the rule of supreme law, perhaps most important. Moreover, is the crown worn by the statue. Never again shall a human being in the United States wear a crown. The only one deserved of that honor is one far greater than any one human being, Lady Liberty.
Okay, so what is this paragraph about?
I think the main idea of this paragraph is the crown is not for human.
Yeah, the crown is not for humans. It is only for freedom, right? Okay, if we finish that sentence. Sure, I agree. That's kind of the main takeaway. That's the take-home message. So which one matches that one the best?
Actually, I don't know which number it is, but is the idea a crown fit no for human?
Yeah, which is basically the main concept of the symbolisms together. That's what that conclusion says, right? Is there are a lot of symbolisms, but the main idea of the symbolisms put together is that the crown is not fit for a human, it's only fit for freedom. And because they gave us, and that's probably the reason they gave us number 5 for C, so we don't get confused, is so that we know that G has to be number 8. Okay, so VIII. Okay, so number 8 there. Okay, and the previous one, F, was number 3. Okay, so I. All right, James, so with those list of headings out of the way, and again, those are challenging, so make sure everybody reviews those when you have a minute. Let's go to some of these true, false, not given. True, false, not given should be pretty quick, and again, this seems to be very difficult for a lot of candidates, but when you have the right strategy, it shouldn't be too bad. So when you see number 34, James, just go ahead and read that.
The monument was manufactured entirely in France before being shipped over.
Okay, first question. Is it important, reading about the Statue of Liberty, to know where it was made? Is that important?
I think it is important.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. So it's given, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it true that it was made completely in France?
As I remember, it is true.
Are you sure? Let's see if any of your classmates have an opinion about that. Is it true that it was made completely in France? What about the bottom? Do you remember the bottom of the statue, the base? Read this sentence. Everybody, make sure you visualize when you're reading. Read this part here. This sentence I just highlighted.
Okay. The base of the monument, however, was constructed on site and was financed by donations by American citizens.
Okay, so you have to be always very careful, students, when you see a word like entirely. Okay, entirely in France. That means completely, right? So was it entirely made in France?
No, actually, it is partly.
Made in the US, yeah. So the answer is no, right? It was partly made in the US. Okay. All right. Number 35. Go ahead and read that one for me.
The goddess Libertas was worshipped by emancipated slaves in America.
Okay. Libertas, the Statue of Liberty. Is it important to know who worshipped it, where they worshipped it?
I think it is important to know that.
Yeah, it is. I agree. It's the symbol, right? It's the Statue of Liberty itself, so it's important. So it's yes. So it has to be given. Yeah. And was it worshipped by Americans in the U.S. or emancipated slaves in the U.S.?
Let me take a guess. I think it is yes.
James, what's the main religion in the U.S.? Americans follow what religion mostly? There's a lot of religions in the U.S., but the majority of the religion in the U.S. is what?
The main religion in the U.S.
Yeah. Are they Buddhists? Are they Shinto, Hindu, Muslim, Christian?
Actually, I've seen it before, but I forget it.
Okay. Americans are mostly Christian. Okay. So they follow the rule of God and country, right? So they're mostly Christian. The Americans, they're mostly Christian. Yeah, Anahita says mostly Christianity, right? So they definitely wouldn't be worshiping a god. Where was Libertas a god? It says in the passage where she was a god. Where was she? I should say goddess. Where was she a goddess?
In France?
Not in France. French are also mostly Christian, so they're mostly going to be following Christianity and the one God. It's before modern history.
Before modern history.
Mm-hmm. Anybody in the chat? It was the Romans, right? The Romans worshipped. So you have to think. Everybody think critically. Okay. So James, think critically. It's important to understand kind of the main geographic, religious, historical concepts of the world. So James, if you're not familiar with what kind of religions are dominant in what countries, or you're not familiar, like when I was asking Fuang about the Civil War in the United States, if you're not familiar with those, it is important. So keep this in mind, everybody. IELTS is an international exam, okay? And IELTS follows. So sometimes I think students might be thinking like, well, what information do they put on the IELTS exam? They put global information on the IELTS exam. Now, a lot of countries, because James, you're in Vietnam as well, right?
Right?
Okay, in Vietnam, when you are doing school, how much of your books, textbooks, learning focuses on world history? Percentage-wise, like what would you say? 5%, 10%, 50%, versus like local history?
I think in a history book, a half for the world and another half for Vietnam.
Okay, all right. So for the IELTS exam, you have to focus your studies like 90% on the half that's for the world. Okay, because in Vietnam, the IELTS might have a topic on Vietnam. Like there might be a topic about traditional clothing in Vietnam, or about the Silk Road that crosses through Vietnam, or about the social system in Vietnam. So there might be something in there, but it's much better chance that it will be something in world history. So Roman Empire, the Ming Dynasty, the Edo Japan Dynasty. So it's not just US and America. It's not like it's, there's a chance that there might be a little bit more about European history or Western history, but they try to balance it. So they'll include history of Africa, India, Asia. So you have to kind of spread your studies across these, right? And it's important to understand, like, which religions are practiced in what parts of the world, because that will help, right? So these days, people don't worship Libertas, or even in the last 200 years, people don't worship Libertas. Libertas is an old goddess of the old religions, right? So here, somewhere in the beginning, it tells us that read this sentence, the first one of paragraph B. I'm going to highlight it here for you, James.
Okay, the statue itself is the figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess from freedom.
Okay, and then keep reading.
In ancient Rome, Libertas was widely worshipped, most significantly by emancipated slaves.
Okay, good. So here the answer clearly is no, right?
Okay.
So it was not the Americans, it was the Romans that worshipped Libertas, right? Okay, number 36. Go ahead and read that for me.
The symbolism of the sun's rays derives of astronomical importance.
Okay. So the symbolism of the sun rays derives means comes from astronomical importance. So from the importance of the sun and so on. Is it important to know?
I think it's not.
No. So the answer is
It's not given.
very good. Okay, one more. 37. Go ahead and read that for me, please.
Liberty replaced the king or queen as monarch of the United States.
Yep, and it's not monarch, it's monarch. It's a k sound, monarch.
Okay.
Okay, just repeat me, James. Monarch.
Monarch.
Okay. Important, liberty, freedom, replacing the king and queen as the leader or the monarch of the United States.
Hmm. In this question, I think it is important to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, because it's the Statue of Liberty. Think about the conclusion, right? Is it true that freedom replaced the king and the queen as the leader of the United States?
Well,
Think about the conclusion. Hint, hint.
so, I think the answer is true.
Yes, it's true. Absolutely. So I put no and no here, but what we should be doing is putting false. And
Okay.
then, yes, so it's true. You're right. The answer is true. Okay. Make sure, students, that if it's true, false, not given, don't write yes. Make sure you write true in the paper-based exam. Otherwise, you'll get it wrong. Okay. So this should be false. Okay. So the correct answers are false, false, not given, and true. Okay. And this is why it's not good to read these questions before the passage, James, and everybody, because notice how here the answers are false, false, not given. So if you're reading these questions before you read the passage, it gets really confusing because only one, the last one, is actually true. And to make it even more trickier, that last one, the answer is in the conclusion. So if you're trying to skim read or scan for these true, false, not given questions, you're going to get a lot of them wrong, and it's going to take you a very long time to even try to figure them out because it's false, false, not given, and the true is in the last paragraph. So be very careful. Don't try these questions before you read the passage. Okay?
Okay.
So Anahita says, can I clarify 37? Absolutely. Liberty, which means freedom, replaced the king or queen as monarch of the United States. So here in this last paragraph, it says, the Statue of Liberty contains many symbolisms, and it says, never again shall a human being in the United States wear a crown. The only one deserving of that honor is far greater than any human being. It's Lady Liberty. Now, Anahita might be thinking, well, United States didn't have a king or a queen. But it did. James, another test of world history. Who was the king or queen of the United States?
So, I think the United States have presidents instead of king or queen.
Yes, but it had in the past. There was a king or queen of the United States. Who was it?
Hmm. Actually, it is the tough question for me.
It's a tricky one, but there is an answer. Who was the king and queen of the United States before 17? It has the date here. It's the day of independence, July 4th, 1776. Until July 4th, 1776, the United States had a king and queen.
Ooh.
It was the king and queen of England, of the UK, because the United States was a British colony up until 1776. Okay? So before 1776, the king and queen of the UK, of Britain, was also the king and queen of the United States. Here's an interesting question, James. Does Canada have a queen or a king?
About Canada?
Yeah. Does Canada have a king or a queen?
Canada. I think king.
Now it's a king, right? Because the queen just died. But yeah, so Canada is still a British colony. So technically, the queen or the king of UK is the queen or king of Canada. That's why we have the queen's head on a coin. I can show you that. I have a coin here somewhere. But yeah, so technically, even though Canada has a prime minister, we also have a king. Right now it's King Charles. right?
Okay.
So technically, he is our king. Okay. All right. So Anahita, I hope that makes sense. All right. These last three questions, the multiple choice, I'm going to leave to all of you to do. Thank you, James, for volunteering. I know that was challenging, but that's IELTS. Their part three or passage three is going to be challenging like that. So get ready for it, okay, James?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye, James.
And have a nice day.
You too. Bye, James. That was challenging. Let's give James a big thumbs up. I know that was challenging, and I know a bit about world history, but if somebody asked me some very specific part of Vietnam's history, I might not be able to answer that either. However, for the IELTS, everybody, you should be reviewing in English your world history. Okay, that's an important tip. Review world history for the IELTS exam in English. All right, everyone, we're using the website here for our interactions, the student partner speaking. If you want to become a premium user of our website and join the premium Zoom classes, make sure to go to aehelp.com and join the premium version by clicking the big red button that's just above my head there. Review this class, everybody. There's a lot of great vocabulary. Statue of Liberty. This could easily be a type of topic in the IELTS exam. Landmarks, historical places. So, for instance, the Taj Mahal in India, right? Which is a very significant landmark. It represents the love between a king and a queen, and it was built out of marble, right? So, lots of interesting information there. But historical monuments, landmarks, the Burj Khalifa, etc., etc., Eiffel Tower in France, London Bridge. Make sure to learn about these, read about these in English. I will be back, everyone, in 30 minutes with a Writing Task 2 class. Okay. That Writing Task 2 question was a question, I believe, that was on the IELTS exam. Deborah was the one who sent that question, one of our premium students. Check out aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check out gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Premium package has over 100 hours, 200 hours of content, lots and lots of videos. It's all there to help you improve English, pass your IELTS exam, get into university, get your immigration papers. So join us. Let us help you. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out for now, and I will be back shortly. Thank you to all my volunteers, and see you soon. Bye, everyone.